everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kate Merrill here with Dr. Mallika Marshall. Hi, Mallika.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So we wanted to talk a little bit about some parenting stuff today. Mainly my biggest problem in my life right now is kids and screen time. This is a really big problem for parents.
Right. And so we both have kids, and we know it's a challenge, right? And we know that based on studies that kids are spending so much more time on screens. And when we say screens, we're talking about not only televisions. Remember, we used to just talk about TV time.
That was it, yeah.
Now it's screen time. So it's televisions, but it's also tablets and computers and smartphones. And I mean, everywhere there's a screen, right? And we know from studies that kids are spending more and more time sort of obsessed with those screens. Just in the past 4 or 5 years, the number of school-age children who are spending upwards of an hour a day on screen time has gone up considerably. Adolescents are sometimes spending 4, 5, 6 hours a day on some sort of device. So
I would imagine the ages of the kids, you have different problems. The younger kids, you have one kind of problem, but then the teenager, you have a completely different problem. So is there different ways to handle this for different ages, I would ask?
So I think it all comes down to limits, setting very clear limits for kids of all ages, right? So you have obviously a little bit more control over your younger child. You can just take something away from a one-year-old or a 2-year-old. But for a 15 or a 16-year-old, you just have to be very clear and set guidelines on how much time they can spend on screens. And sometimes it's helpful to actually tell them what the risks are. Right. They may or may not listen to you, but as experts, we're concerned that too much screen time can interrupt their sleep, right? So we don't want them on tablets right before they go to bed. We are concerned that they might gain weight because they're not spending as much time outside or being physically active. We also worry about it causing more behavioral problems, right? The more time you spend on a screen, the less time you're speaking face-to-face with someone, the less time you're interacting with your friends, interacting with your family members. So there can be some real consequences to too much screen time. So in my household, I try to explain to them why I'm telling them that too much of this is a bad thing.
Also, starting right away when they're young. I know when I gave my daughter a phone when she was in 6th grade, which I feel was too early, we had rules right from the start because it's hard to go back once you've given them something to then say, oh, by the way, we're going to pedal back.
Although I have to say, I tend to pedal back when they've done something naughty.
Yeah, that's
right?
true, that's true.
So if, we have very high expectations for grades in our household. So if you don't meet a certain standard, then it's time for us to pull back on the screen time. You're not going to use your PlayStation this weekend. Let's take that time to focus on our studies and to read. So you can pull back when you need to, but you're absolutely right. If you give too much, their expectations are higher.
Right.
So starting at an early age, they need to know that there are going to be some limits set, that it's not all bad, that you're not restricting their access completely, but that too much is not good.
Yeah, it is the #1 problem right now. And we're really the first generation of parents having to deal with this. So this is an important topic for sure.
It is.
Doctor, thank you so much for talking. And to learn more, just stay on our website, cbsboston.com. Thanks for watching.